The Carson J Spencer Foundation was founded in 2005, just a few months after my younger brother Carson died by suicide after a difficult battle with bipolar disease. He was a dynamic entrepreneur, and the founders of our organization decided very early on we would do two things: honor his life as a dynamic business leader and prevent what happened to him from happening to other people. We decided that we would really take an innovative and bold approach to our work, and that we would fill gaps in the community where people were falling through the cracks or where certain issues weren't addressed. So what most people don't realize is that the majority of people who die by suicide are men of working age. And there's a subgroup of them that have many high risk factors and who are not likely to seek help on their own that are totally being missed by the suicide prevention efforts. So in our partnership with Cactus Marketing and the Office of Suicide Prevention, we have created a very dynamic and humorous approach called Man Therapy, where we use humor to engage men in thinking about their mental health differently.
Picking up new hobbies such as cooking is another manly way to avoid depression and reduce stress. Today, I'm going to teach you how to make my world-famous guaco mahogany. First, mash up 5 or 6 of these green things, then add hot sauce.
And so what humor does is it cuts through some of those social barriers and gives men an opportunity to self-assess or look at things a different way in the privacy of their own homes, so that they don't have to kind of confront these massive issues in our community. The other approach that we have is Working Minds, the first comprehensive approach to suicide prevention in the workplace. And our goal is really to build capacity among HR and supervisors, managers, well, heck, anybody who wants to work on this issue, we'll take them. And we teach them how to message, how to train people to identify folks at risk, how to deal with crises, screening, mental health services, everything. So the Working Minds program was on the best practice registry, and we now train people all over the world. It's very important to work with youth because the journey into a suicide crisis often begins in adolescence. So we go into high schools all over Colorado and now spreading into the nation. It's typically in a business class, which is an unusual audience for suicide prevention. And over the course of an academic year, we do soup to nuts business developments. On the suicide prevention side of things, they also do soup to nuts public health approach to suicide prevention. So they understand the root causes of suicide distress in their community. They craft an intervention that they think will address that, and then they implement that. And both those things are happening at the same time. So they're building a business that addresses a root cause of suicide distress in their community. It's no mistake that we call this program The Fire Within, because their passion is contagious. So the last gap that we try to fill is supporting bereaved families. When people lose a loved one to suicide, whether it's a family member, a friend, a coworker, they often fall into what we call a canyon of why. What the research tells us is that the sooner we can connect families and individuals to resources that let them know they're not alone, the less complicated that grief process becomes. So we have a program called I Care Packages, where we proactively reach out when we hear that a family's been affected, and we let them know there's this whole network out here that's ready to support you in whatever way makes sense to you. Through all of our efforts, through the kids and the bereaved communities and the working-aged people, we believe we are creating an army that is changing the conversation about mental health and suicide prevention. We're changing the conversation in our classrooms, in our corporate elevators, in our faith communities, and that's what's going to need to happen to really shift the attitudes where people start to treat this like other health issues, one that can be prevented, one that we can deal with. That's what we're doing.